Cristobal. How are you? It's Friday afternoon in Minnesota. It's snowing again for the millionth time this season, and I am still dealing with a cold, so bear with me. I wanted to jump back to one of my favorite shows, 90 Day Fiancé, because I haven't talked about it in a few weeks, and I feel like I've been neglecting my fans, or not the fans, the subscribers who follow the show, love the show, and want some more tea about the characters on the show, or the cast members. I call them characters because I always feel like half of what they share on there is not real. Anyways, one of the couples, Sasha and Emily, are kind of I can't decide if people like them or hate them. I think Emily is really sweet, but she also seems really naive. And there's a lot of questions about this relationship. So if you are new to the show, Emily and Sasha met when Emily was in Russia teaching English as English as a second language teacher. She has a background as a degree in English. She has according to her Instagram, her heritage on her father's side is Russian and Ukrainian. So she's always had an interest in Russia. While teaching in Russia, she met Sasha at a gym while she was working out. He was a personal trainer. He started training her. They start having this relationship. She and him developed this relationship where he explains to her that he has been married twice before and he has 2 children from 2 different wives. And now he is, it was always the wrong lady, right? It was always the lady's fault. There was always something wrong with the marriages. One was they got married too young. The other one was they were not compatible because he started becoming a personal trainer and she didn't like that he got so big. I mean, literally, that's what he said on the show. So there's been a lot of questions about whether or not he will stay with them. She has met his relationships with his ex-wives have been a part of the show, where she actually went out for dinner with one of them while she was still pregnant. By the way, she's pregnant, very pregnant. She had a baby on the show a few weeks ago. And his ex-wife was basically claiming that Sasha will never change. He is always going to be the way he is. He is a Lothario. He's a womanizer. She didn't like that he was going to move to the United States. Why can't they stay in Russia? They made the decision to move to the United States because there would be more opportunities for them as a family, and it would be easier for them to get married. So that being said, with 2 ex-wives, 2 children that he isn't very involved with. He sees his children, but not as much as he should. A lot of people were questioning what would make this relationship different. Emily seems to be very rose-colored glasses kind of person, where she seems to think that this time, 3rd time is a charm, and that the previous issues that he had in other relationships will not carry forward to his new relationships, okay? So she actually has been interviewed, and she was talking with Fox News about their relationship, about any specific warnings she might have had related to him and his history. And she said, on our second walk together, when he told me, of course, my initial reaction was that he was a jerk, womanizer, or something along those lines. He explained where his past relationships went wrong, and I understood. Our personalities really meshed, and he seemed genuine in his explanation, so I gave him a shot. But then she said that she's not naive to the fact that he does have a pattern of leaving his wives after they have their children. And she said, there is a pattern. He gets someone pregnant, and it all falls apart. I'm going to be Sasha's third wife. This is his 3rd child with another woman, but we're going to last. Okay. Then she also pointed out in this interview that her husband will have, or her soon-to-be husband at the time, will have to be the one in taking care of the child because he will not have his work permit right away when they get to the United States. So she said, when we get to America, he will have to take care of the baby while I go out and look for work. He has had other children, but he doesn't really know a lot about the child rearing. He has always been the one working while his ex stayed home with the baby. And shortly after they had the baby, she said, it makes me sad because he should be happy to spend time with the baby. So there's questions about whether or not he would actually be a good father, whether or not he would be a good partner. And this last episode, they actually were packing up to go to Russia, move from Russia to the United States. And as they were packing, she said to him, "It looks kind of weird. You just look like you could pack up and leave at any time," because he didn't really pack very much to go to the United States. And people on Twitter were kind of like, is he really into this? Is he not? And she said, once someone on Twitter wrote, "Emily's just now realizing that Sasha doesn't want to go to America. Like, come on, it's pretty obvious that it's time to face your reality." And then another person wrote, "Emily, sweetie, he doesn't care about the baby, just like he doesn't care about his other 2 children. You are his ticket to the U.S., dummy." Now, he says that he has zero interest in coming to the United States. It's not about getting to the United States, but rather that he absolutely loves Emily. So earlier yesterday, Emily began a Q&A on Instagram and answered some fan questions, and I've captured some of them for you so we can take a look. So on Instagram, actually Alexander shared this, or Sasha, which is Alexander, shared this. This is his Instagram. It says, "Sometimes you need to clean your mind from the negative emotions. The best way is to just go walking around and enjoying the beautiful nature." And that's he and Emily. And then he shared this photo. "Don't judge me, people, just a nice view." He is obviously very much into fitness, and his goal is to open a gym in the United States. And then this was actually taken, are they married or are they not? They are married. He shared this last fall in September of 2018, and he said, on the wedding of my dear Mr. R.U.S. Oh, they were at a wedding for somebody. They do share the same last name, so it appears as though they have gotten married, although this was a photo from a wedding that they attended as a couple. So on Instagram, she was asking some questions to her fans, and one of them said, "How are you? What's going on with Sasha and the baby?" And she said, "All I can say is he's a great father. The baby is doing great." That's a cagey question. "Would you do another show?" "Maybe, but nobody has asked us." Okay, so he's a good father. You can't answer anything else, but nobody's asked you to do another show. So that tells me you're together. "Is he spending more time with the baby? You are so sweet, and I want this to work for you." And she said, "He is a very good father." And then someone said, "What influenced your decision to do a K1 visa versus a spousal visa?" And she said, "The K1 is faster, and getting married in Russia would have been a hassle. So it would have been more work for her to get married in Russia, apparently." And then, "If Sasha would have been denied a visa to the United States, would you have stayed in Russia with him?" And she said, "Yes." And then they asked about his children. Does he miss his kiddos in Russia? And she said, "We both miss them every day." So clearly they are still together. "Who is David more attached to, you or Sasha or Sasha?" Sasha now, he goes back and forth though. And then, "How does living in America affect your relationship with his other children?" "It's hard now, but once he has his travel authorization and green card, we can visit them and vice versa. We got his oldest a smartphone so they are constantly chatting. I know it's a poor substitute, but we are working to better their future too." So once he gets his green card, meaning they are likely working on the process of getting him a green card, it appears that they are again married because they have the same last name now. So I think she's being kind of cagey because she actually shares a lot of photos of him on her Instagram, and they appear to be pretty lovey-dovey. He loves the stuff that she loves, like he loves her statuses and she hearts his statuses, and so I don't know. I can't decide. Are they? I don't know. I have this long A. Okay, so it's Sasha. All right. Thank you, Susan Ryan. Okay. So I have the sense that there could be some rockiness here, but I also don't know that for sure. With a pattern of leaving women once they've had children, it would be hard to expect him to suddenly switch things up and be the man that he needs to be. However, I do know that, just because you've been married twice before, it does not mean that your third marriage can't work and that you'll do this to every single woman. I have friends that have had that are on their third marriages, and one of my friends has been married for 25 years to their third wife. So I think it all just depends on the person. Maybe he got involved with the wrong people. Maybe Emily is the right person for him. I don't know. Emily does seem pretty naive and definitely seems to look at this a lot more optimistically than I would, but that's just me. He has a lot of reasons not to stay in the United States, i.e. 2 children, so we'll see how that works as well. And when they asked his ex-wife whether or not his oldest child could go visit in the United States at a later time, the ex-wife at the time was a little apprehensive about that happening. So, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I don't know how you can have 2 kids and then, like, leave them behind and then have a 3rd kid and stay with that child in the United States. I don't know. Some people always say once a player, always a player. This guy definitely looks like he knows that he looks good, and he's into fitness, and he's at a gym where he can meet lots of ladies. I don't know. I'm cautious with this relationship, and I think that Emily might be a little bit naive. So we'll have to see as the season wears on what happens in their relationship. They're clearly on Instagram still in something. They're together at least. Whether or not they're married and they're together. Whether or not they're happy, I don't know. All right, you guys, I will be back later with more, but if there's other shows that you want me to check out, make sure you put them in the comments below. And if you haven't checked out my new Twitter, make sure you do. I've changed my Twitter address to so it's at WOACB official. And that is my only Twitter account moving forward. Any other Twitters that look or appear to be me are not me. They are either parodies or impersonations. So make sure you follow me at WOACB official. And I'm also on Instagram at Without a Crystal Ball and Facebook.com/Without a Crystal Ball. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more. Bye, guys.